Last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Damn, Kurt did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What's going on? What's going on? Happy Monday, everybody. It's your boy Kings and Dreams. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, man. For real, for real. It was definitely a long weekend. I know some people had today off. Anybody who works in the financial sector, I know you guys had today off. So shout out to you guys. If you guys had to work today, man, I feel bad for you, man. It's all good, man. And I hope everyone enjoyed the games for the weekend, whatever sports that you went to. I know a couple of my people, some Dallas Cowboy fans, and I know y'all looking real sad right now, man, but it's all good. Anyway, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and normally I don't really talk too much about like robberies and stuff like that, but this one hit kind of close to home. So growing up, one of my best friends, he's like a brother to me, man. And so his younger brother essentially became my younger brother. And traveling, seeing everybody traveling around the world, going to different places, I'm gonna let him tell you his side, but I want to say that when you get the traveling bug in your ear, man, you get really excited and you want to go to all these new places, right? And so I want to have a conversation with him about his first time traveling internationally, what he has experienced, some good things, maybe some potential watchouts, and then as you can see on the thumbnail, almost possibly getting got, man. So we're gonna have this conversation, man, and we're gonna drop some education for all of y'all today, man. So without further ado, man, I want to bring my guest on, my brother from another mother, man. My man Yaz is in the building. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Kings and Dreams, man? Appreciate you, man, for having me on the platform. How's it going?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. How are you, man?
Living life, man. Back here in the flesh, back here on stateside. So yeah, we living it up, man. We having a good time, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so before we get into it, just kind of give people a little bit about your background, who you are, where you from, what do what do you currently do, things that you're working on.
Yeah, no, for sure. So originally I'm from Orlando. I moved up to Ohio probably about 10, 11 years ago, predominantly just to be closer to my son. I do work in the financial tech sector. So like fintech,
Yeah.
that's my background, product management. And because of that, it's actually provided opportunities to, go out and travel and do things that I just normally didn't have an opportunity or access to do when, I was a lot younger here. So definitely been working on my purpose and things have been paying off. But yeah, that's
Absolutely.
kind of where I'm at, where I'm at in life right now, man.
Yeah, you mentioned Orlando, man. I'm glad. I'm guessing that I'm glad that you are in Ohio because two hurricanes coming back to back,
Yeah,
and
it's been
all
wild.
through Central Florida, man.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I was down there back in like I want to say 2003, 2004 when we was getting hit with hurricanes back to back, and I mean that's always
Oh,
kind of been the
really?
story out there. Yeah, weather is kind of crazy, but I mean honestly, depending on where you live at, it's kind of like that. Give and take. There's trade offs everywhere. In the Midwest, you got the
Right.
snow. Down south, obviously you got hurricanes and more inland, the temperature may be hotter, or go out to the West Coast, you got earthquakes or whatever. So I don't think you're ever totally out of the neck of the woods in terms of like the perfect ideal weather. But
Yeah.
kind of segueing into the conversation, man, Brazil, the weather out there is lovely. I loved it out there.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But you make a valid point because no matter like where you live, especially like in the United States, right? Like you have the southeast, you got the hurricanes, you got the Midwest, northeast, you got snow, ice, right? And then certain parts of the Midwest. Then you got the West Coast, you got the earthquakes and things like that. And then also Midwest, you also have tornadoes too,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
So no matter where you are, like you're always gonna run into something, man. So you're
Absolutely.
absolutely right about that. Absolutely right about that. So now let me ask you. So you said that you had moved to Orlando to be closer to you. I'm sorry, Ohio from Orlando to be closer to your son.
Yeah.
So how are you liking that difference between Orlando and Ohio?
It's a change of pace,
Okay.
I feel like it's a lot more quiet out here, which is, a good thing. Allow me to
Yeah.
honestly stay focused on my career and really make some moves out here in life. Like I know a lot of people, a lot of friends and family that just kind of stayed in that lane. They really never moved out of the city
Right.
they grew up in. And so I don't know. I feel like everybody kind of complains about wanting to be in a different position in life and want to have things and being able to go out and travel and buy this or buy that, but only a
Yeah.
select few actually take an opportunity to change their surroundings and their environment. So honestly, that's kind of what kind of paved the way for me. When I moved out here, I was able to really focus on my career, focus on just raising my son, and it's paid off. It took about, I don't know, man, 6, 7, 8 years of just like grinding, like getting it out the mud. But yeah, things are definitely where we like them to be at right now. So I'm pretty happy about it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right. So now let's get into to traveling, right?
Sure.
So I know that you just got back from Brazil, and we're gonna get into that. Now, I want to ask you, what was it that made you decide that you wanted to travel internationally?
I honestly, I've been wanting to travel internationally for a long time, and I mean, I technically did when I was younger, but it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a priority or at the forefront of what I wanted to do, right? So
Mhm.
I think honestly, kind of over the last couple of years, I kind of got exposed to, different cultures by traveling, right? And it's like going to Guatemala, going to Mexico. And these are like, I want to say the almost like the introductory to traveling to new places outside of the United States, right? It's not
Okay.
like the furthest flights, but it's kind of like a good way to get your feet wet. So like from those experiences, I started to really, figure out like, man, this is something smooth. And then obviously watching your platform and being plugged in with you for many years.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, so I mean, you've been trying to get me to come out to places like Colombia and just travel with you in general. And I
Yeah.
would say, when I was in my last relationship, there was a lot of resistance to me going and traveling and so on and so forth. So once I was able to kind of break away from that situation and just focus on what was important to me, I just made that a priority, and hence, chose
Right.
Brazil and yeah.
Right. So I think I might have made a faux pas because I thought that Brazil was your first international trip, but you said that you went to Mexico and you went to Guatemala prior to going to Brazil. So that's my bad. Now,
It's all good.
yeah. Now where in Mexico did you go to, and where in Guatemala did you go to?
Oh man, so Mexico, a few places. So Riviera Maya, I'm gonna say
Oh, Rivera Maya. Okay, yeah.
yeah, Puerto Morales, Tulum as well.
Okay,
And I know I'm leaving out one place, man. Forgive me. But
Cancun.
yeah, no. We just flew into the airport there, but no, that wasn't the spot.
Okay,
It was another city.
Playa del Carmen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we was at. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned that. I mentioned that because our brother who actually knows us. Shout out to the Flyboy Way,
Hey,
THEFLYBOY. Don't ask why. Check out the channel. So Flyboy. So a lot of people on my channel like know that Flyboy and I grew up together. But they don't know, and they're finding out right now in real time that obviously you, Flyboy, myself, we've all traveled and known
right.
each other for like what, 2 decades? It has to
Yeah,
be around like two
yeah,
decades. So like 20 years or something like that, man.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So shout out to the Flyboy Way. I see y'all coming in here in the chat, man, but we just getting the conversation started, so we gonna get into it. All right, so you went to Tulum, you went to Playa del Carmen, Mexico, and then you also said Guatemala. And
Yeah.
where in Guatemala did you go to?
I want to say Antigua was one of the places,
Okay.
and then we did some hiking out there. Honestly, hiked one of the volcano. Actually, yeah, one of the volcanoes. Guatemala City. We was out there too.
Okay.
Uh, and honestly, I think those are the main two places. Just moving back and forth between there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. Okay. And how long ago did you do both trips?
Shoot, man. Mexico was back in 2021, and then
Okay, so 3 years ago. Okay.
Guatemala was 2022.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So you building up the trajectory. Okay, cool. All right. So now what made you decide to go to Brazil?
Like honestly, growing up, like I grew up in Orlando, grew up around a ton of like Latin people. That was the culture. Like they pretty much embrace you like family, even if you're not their
Yeah.
family. So it's always kind of been around me, and I've always had this urge to like just want to go to Brazil, right? And then
Yeah.
yeah, so like honestly, out of all the different locations that people talk about traveling to, whether it's Colombia or the Dominican Republic or the Philippines, for example, Brazil, I don't know, Brazil to me kind of just always stuck out because that was always the place that I was interested in
Yeah.
traveling to. And I honestly, even before traveling there, it's always this place that I feel like, even though I've never lived there, there's a potential that I recognize that I could like that place, and that may be somewhere I would want to relocate and live full time. So to
Yeah.
me, it was not just going out there to check out the city, but also get a feel for the culture and see can I envision myself actually living there. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
absolutely,
where
man.
that came
I'll
from.
tell you a quick funny story, right? There was this movie that came out in the early '90s. I think it was called like Only the Strong. Everybody that's 35 and up would definitely know this movie. Yeah, they used to study like they used to go like capoeira and stuff, and it was in Brazil, right? And so
Yeah,
I wanted to do capoeira, so I was like, I'm gonna go to Brazil and learn that, right? So as a kid, I'm like, that's what I want to do.
yeah,
So but as I got older, as you mentioned, right, like being around the people, and then when I lived in Newark for a time, we had this section called Ironbound, but we called it the Portuguese section because you would have Brazilians, you would have people from like Angola, Africa, you would have people from Portugal, and then
yeah.
you would also have people from oh my gosh, I should know, Cape Verdean, right? So
Mm,
all of them mix in this one melting pot, and they all speak Portuguese. So we would call that the Portuguese section. So and and they had really good food. They had really good food.
God,
So
I bet they did.
yeah, they had really good food. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there one day. So I was always inspired about Brazil. And then another thing, what interesting that I found out about Brazil was that outside of the continent of Africa, they actually have the most black people in the world.
Yeah.
So second to
You dropping
Africa,
facts
Brazil
right
has the
now.
most black people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that was what made me really interested.
That,
Guys,
that's in Salvador, Brazil, right? Like the specific city with the highest
well, no,
population.
I'm talking about the whole country. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the country, but yes, like the biggest black population, I believe, is in Salvador, Bahia, and then also in Rio de Janeiro, I believe. But Salvador Bahia, yeah, is
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, I saw my man Jay Clyde in here, but I believe it's about 85 to 90% black in Salvador Bahia, and then I believe in Rio de Janeiro it's about 70% black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's a dope vibe.
yeah, man. All right, so guys, moderators, do me a solid. I did post my man Yaz's Instagram. Can you please post his link so everyone could do me a solid and make sure that you guys follow him on Instagram. The Instagram is the who in Ohio, something like
No,
that.
it's
My
it's
bad.
what's in Ohio.
Yeah, what's in Ohio? Sorry
Uh,
about that. What's in Ohio? Yeah, so my moderators, please drop that link so we can definitely make sure that people are following and checking them out, man.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Instagram looks good though, man. I really like it, man. But we'll talk about that later. So getting back into Brazil, how long did you stay out there?
11 days.
11 days.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what made you pick Sao Paulo as opposed to Rio de Janeiro? Because normally, like, people would pick Rio de Janeiro because Rio de Janeiro, like, you have like more beaches. Not saying Sao Paulo doesn't,
Yeah.
but like Rio de Janeiro is more known for like beaches. Sao Paulo is known for like more inland, more
True.
city, for that kind of infrastructure. So, what made you like decide to do Sao Paulo as opposed to Rio de Janeiro?
Yeah, so like for me, everything I do is based on strategy. So for example, I wouldn't live in Rio de Janeiro just because like from a technology standpoint,
Okay.
the opportunity is going to be in São Paulo. There's a lot of like technology, a lot of opportunity for like fintech, financial technology development, product
Yeah.
development, product management out there. So for me, it would just be an easy lateral move or transition in the city. But yeah, that was predominantly like the reason why I chose like São Paulo, as far as like more tech friendly, more business friendly. Yeah, it's up there with like New York. And as far as like in Latin America, like São Paulo, certain like financial companies are positioning like that city to kind
Right.
of lead the charge for like product management, product expansion on a global market scale.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, no, that's you're absolutely right because one of the companies that I used to work for a few years ago, I used to work for a biotech company,
Yeah,
and they actually have a hub in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
yeah.
So Brazil was
Oh, where's
definitely
money at, man? That's
yeah,
it.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. So I definitely feel you on that. All right, man. So you're in Sao Paulo. All right. And now what's the first thing that you do when you get there?
Shoot, man. Just honestly, oh, it's interesting. So like I was told, right? Like I pretty cool Airbnb host. We connected, and I was told like first off, don't use the Ubers at the airport. Like it's cool as soon as you get into the city, but there's a lot of Airbnb scams being ran at the airport. So
Yep.
I was specifically told like just make sure you catch a taxi from the airport, which is what happened. But like once and here's the thing, like I met somebody who honestly they was traveling. They spoke English but Portuguese as well. So dude was like, "Yo, you want to just grab a cab together?" And so, anyways, I'm negotiating with the cab driver, and he gives me a set price of like 200 Rios, which is going to be like roughly between like $30 and $40, right? So I'm like, cool, right? We
Mm-hmm.
get to the drop off, and here comes the scam. My guy is like double the price, right? So like now it's up to 400 because of traffic. That was what he said. So we over here like having a standoff. And it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna split hairs over an additional $30, right? So, anyways, I pay it. But yeah, first things first, get to the spot, drop off my bags, and then just kind of like assess like what the strategy was gonna be throughout the day, which was predominantly go around, find some food, and then just kind of like settle in and just see how the day progresses.
Yeah, man. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I don't like. Like when you take a cab as opposed to like a Uber or a Lyft. Like the Uber or Lyft, like it has like the set price. So even if it's traffic, like they
Yeah,
gotta eat that. They gotta eat that.
yeah,
So if it's 20 bucks, Reites, I think it's called Reites, right? Yeah, it's called
yeah,
Reites.
yeah,
So if it's the equivalent of $20, 25 or whatever the case is, you got to take that. I don't care if we sitting in traffic for 45 minutes to an hour. Listen, you
nah,
already know like this Sao Paulo, so you could have made the price adjustment.
yeah,
That's just me. That's just.
yeah,
But I get it. You just getting there. You're not really trying to go back and forth. You're trying to enjoy your time, right?
facts.
Okay, yeah. So can you say like where in Sao Paulo like did you stay? Like what was your section called?
Momoa. So like,
Okay.
yeah, it's a pretty like upscale, pretty smooth area. It almost feels like you're in I don't know, like Vice City, Miami vibes, like this palm trees. But I'm sure that's kind of like all over São Paulo. But like, it's a really nice area. Like
Yeah.
you'll see people walking around, like walking their dogs. Women with kids, all ages, fit people.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of tell like this is where people spend their money at. A lot of skyrise developments out there, and a lot of
Okay.
nice restaurants too. Yeah.
Okay. So it almost sounds like Brickell, Miami.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't say I'm familiar with Brickell, honestly. It's been a minute since I slid out to Miami, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna trust your judgment on this one.
Yeah. So Brickell's kind of like the midtown of like midtown Manhattan of Miami, if you will.
Okay.
Like you got like the
Yeah.
high rises and things like that. So
Yeah. It's a
yeah. So
vibe. It's definitely a vibe. Yeah.
oh yeah, for
If you
sure, for
stay in
sure.
Momoa and like you meet friends, you have guests, and they come over, like they gonna like your spot. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong there. For sure.
Nice. And let's talk about like so let's talk about like the price. So what was the price that you ended up spending to get that place out in Momoa
Yeah, so like I booked
for
mine.
11 days?
Yeah, I booked mine like maybe 4 months in advance. So like rate wise, it was pretty good. But I think it ran me close to like 1,000 for 11 days, so like maybe like 950. And of course,
Okay.
there was other places that were like half the price.
Mm-hmm.
And like, here's the thing, like you will get what you pay for. So like, you may see a I don't know, like displays or walkthroughs of like just how the apartment looks, and it may look amazing, but you really got to do your due diligence in terms of making sure like the location where it's at is actually a good location. Like, can you walk around at night? Which we gonna get into that, like that.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but I mean, like just being able to walk around like during the day, and honestly, you do have to kind of what I'm learning in Brazil, you gotta like people will tell you like, hey, this is a good area, but be careful. And I'm like, what you mean? Like you just said it was and they say that a lot. They be like, yeah, this is a good area, but be careful. So it is like you're always constantly keeping your head on a swivel, even in really nice areas where you're seeing like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches. And that's like kind of in the Momoa area as well. So
Yeah.
it's like anything can happen, crime of opportunities can happen anywhere. But um, I would just say like you want to increase your likelihood of like not being in a bad area. So like don't just focus on going for the absolute cheapest, like read through the Airbnb reviews, like try to get a feel for the shopping plazas, the areas. I think if you like, technically when I booked this, I couldn't actually see the address of the location. And
Yeah.
that's probably standard across the board with Airbnb. And I think in Brazil it would make more sense just because like from a security perspective, like the building I stayed in had like full security, which
Yeah.
was great, but it was kind of annoying at the same time because like they just spoke Portuguese and
Right.
like yeah, it's just kind of a hassle to get in the building sometimes. But yeah, no, I think price wise, I paid a little bit more than what maybe some other people would potentially be comfortable with paying. But for me, I knew I was going to be in a good area, close to shopping malls, close to grocery stores, close to nice bars and restaurants. Um, that was kind of like my thought process for booking this one.
Well, I mean, I completely agree with your standpoint, right? Like because I'd rather be safe rather than sorry. Like if you got to pay a little extra for security and convenience, then so be it. Especially your first time going to the country, right?
Yeah,
Like me, like I have a place in Medellin, Colombia. But when I first went out there, like the first place that I got, we had like we had a place that had security, so because I didn't know like the lay of the land, so to speak. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it took some time for me to continuously go out there, and then okay, like I know how to move around. And when people say, "Yeah, this area is safe, but be careful," because it's just like, because yeah, because look, right, because like it's
yeah.
because it's anywhere like it's anywhere like in the United States, right? Like you could be okay, like especially New York City, right? Like you could be in a nice area, and then 2 blocks up the street,
Facts.
shit could kind of look a little shaky. You know what
Look
I mean?
crazy. Yeah,
So yeah, so I think that's what they saying. They like, yeah, like if you stay within this 2, 3, 4 block radius, you good. You go to
yeah,
block 5 or 6, you might want to, you know what I mean? You might want to
yeah,
take it back a little bit. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think that that's what like they were trying to convey. Because like even in where I have my apartment in Poblado, um, Medellin, like there's certain like streets. If you walk down there like the wrong time of night, it
Facts.
could be a problem. So
Yeah,
you gotta, you just gotta be mindful of that. So I think that's what they were trying to, I think that's what they were trying to say. All right. So we are at the 30-minute mark. Let me give a couple of shout outs because I see all of y'all in the chat. All of y'all, if y'all could do me a solid, everybody, please make sure that you do follow What's in Ohio on Instagram. That's my guy right here, my guy Yaz.
right.
Definitely make sure that you check him out, man. And also, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Definitely appreciate y'all. All right, says hi. Definitely appreciate the thumbs up. Mr. Dacus is in the building. Peace, my brother. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Jay Clyde is in the building, man. Yeah, so Jay Clyde, yeah, so he's like a Brazil guru and a Colombian guru too.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So that's my
We
guy,
have to
man.
link up, man. For
That's my
sure.
uh Poolman 313 Detroit is in the building. Definitely salute. Garden Scientists. Man, that's my dude. Jersey, LA is in the building. I appreciate y'all. 7.8K. I'm not sure where you seeing 7.8K at. Um, oh man.
Yo,
Nick says, yo.
yo, what's good? Nick was actually the other guy that was with me, man, when this whole ordeal took place, man. So
Oh, okay. All
yeah,
right.
so
So,
he's actually in the video.
oh, hey,
What
Nick.
up, Nick? What's good? What's good, man?
Hey, Nick, man. If you cool with it, man, I'll drop a link in the chat. And Nick, if you want to pull up, when we get to that part of the segment, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can speak your piece. But all right. So shout out to Nick. My man Chat says, "Wagwan, brethren." Yeah, man, there. Yes, so. Let's see. My guy, yes. Thanks for sharing the story of what happened to us in Sao Paulo. Yeah, man. Tripping with Jay is in the building. That's my guy. Shout out to Fearless Podcast.
We got everybody coming through, man. It's love.
Yeah, man. East Side native. Okay, okay. Let's see, man. My guy Santika. Hold on. Why didn't it not pull up? Oh, Santika. Okay, here it is. Salute to the chat. Definitely. He said, "I'm that friend." Hey, man, it's all good, man. I have a feeling that cab driver may have been the one that leaked the information. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. We go get into it.
Up in here, man.
We go get into it. Sao Paulo versus Rio de Janeiro. You know, oh man. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with Sao Paulo. I'm gonna have to go with Sao Paulo, and I'll explain why a little bit later.
King of Lad. Hey, hold on. Shout out to King of Lad. That's actually my son. And so he just on the live stream with us as well, man. So shout
your
out
son for real?
My son's son, yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? What's up, man? He checking out.
Get your homework, man. Oh,
yeah. Get to your homework, man.
Yeah,
get to your homework.
Nah, he good.
All right. Grego says, "What's good? What's good, my guy?" All right. Let's see. He said, "I'll pull up." All right, for sure. Shout out to my man Los. Man, yeah. So my man Los, he's from Florida too. He's from Florida too. But he relocated to Colombia. He lived in Bogota, but now he lives in Cartagena. And I don't know if you can see the picture, but that's him and his wife, Colombiana.
Yeah, shout out to Los.
Yeah, man, for sure. My man Ronan Travels, salute to Kings and Dreams. Thank you so much for being here. Definitely appreciate you. Your son just typed in a W. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Chill out, man. Chill out.
All right? Good,
man. Don't start spamming the chat, man.
Yeah, right. Don't start spamming the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're in Brazil. You got the nice spot. Check out food. You know, what's next on your agenda?
Honestly, man, just to go out and have a good time. So you actually put me in contact with Chupapa.
Chapapa, yeah. Shout out to my man Chapapa TV, man.
So me and him basically was supposed to link over in the kind of in the same area where the events in question took place at. So he was kind of like in the general vicinity, but he's like, look, man, there's some stuff going on later on in the night, like basically the nightlife over in Villa. I forgot how to pronounce it, but anyway, it goes like my goal for the night, man, was just to go out, get some food, and just kind of stay out the way, man. Not do too much. Like I'm coming off of a 13-14 hour flight, didn't get the best of sleep, on the flight. So it's like I'm grinding through the day. I don't want to waste that day. But at the same time, I realized like my battery was running low internally. So
right.
I really just I didn't have too many things on the agenda, man. Just like get some food, and just kind of see what transpires.
I got you. So what excursions did you like sightseeing and things like that did you get into prior to the whole situation? Because the situation didn't happen like on day one, right?
Yeah, that's wild. Because
it happened on day one?
It happened on day one. It happened on day one, man. So,
oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, I see you in the background. Just hold on a minute. I just want to give me a few minutes to continue talking to Yaz. But so night one. All right. So now let's get into it. Right.
Yeah.
So, you're winding down, I assume. for the evening. And around what time did this happen?
So this happened like it's like right around like 9. I'm gonna say right around 9:20 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So what were you like? What were you doing out? And you were with Nick, right?
Yeah. So we met up, me and him, we was on the same flight from the international flight from Washington to Sao Paulo. So we just linked up after we got to Sao Paulo International Airport. But yeah, we just went out, grabbed some food, man, and we're just sliding from one place to the next place.
Yeah.
And the general area that we were in, it was a nice area, right?
Yeah.
And it was pretty populated, densely populated. But basically, we get to this point where I'm gonna say it's probably like shit, man. It was probably about like 9:15-ish, maybe like 9:10. And I'm asking him, I plugged in into the Uber app, like how long is it gonna take for me to get to the other side of town, get back to my spot? It was like 20 minutes. Uber be there in like 2 minutes. So like, bro, I could have just hit the submit, just had the Uber picked up, and then we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But what I did was, I'm like, yo, Nick, what you like? You about to you gonna catch an Uber back? Or he's like, man, it's only a 10-minute walk. It's like it's a 10-minute walk. So I'm just gonna walk there. I'm gonna slide on foot. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna just leave him to slide on foot by himself. So I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'll just walk with you back to your spot, and I'll catch my Uber from there. So this is kind of like the setup. Now, I don't know if we were being targeted or watched or whatever the case was prior to this point, but basically, we walking from that last bar back to his spot, which is literally a 10-minute walk. And I don't know, like if you have some of the footage.
I do. Yeah, keep talking. I'm getting it loaded up, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, man, it's crazy. I'll take you kind of through like my thought process, and then like just growing up and give us some backstory. Like,
estavam descendo aqui e os motoqueiros
encostaram. I think I just heard a little bit in the background, but like,
yeah, my bad. Yeah,
you good. So like, I think you already alluded to the point where like we've known each other for like going on like 20 years. Like, I remember I met you when I was it's black. I think it was the same time I met you at Flyboy in person in Daytona, like back in, I want to say that was 2005, but whatever the case is, I was still in high school, like young, but like getting it in, and like growing up, like, cause I had like you for me was like my OG, man. I learned a lot of stuff from you, like real talk, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Nah, it's the truth though. You and Pasha, P-Shine, definitely were like mentors for me in that aspect. So like I was always exposed, and then my father as well, man. Just like coming, like just like the background of my family.
Yeah, man. Shout out to your dad, man. He rests in peace, man.
Facts. So like I was always exposed to things that I'm gonna just say, man, like at an early age, and I just learned how to navigate certain stuff. So I just don't have I don't really have a timid attitude, man. So like, I'm not gonna say I've been through like this exact scenario before, but I've been in mission critical situations like this. But needless to say, so we're walking, right? I had to set that up with a little disclaimer, right? So like,
I got you.
We're walking, and it's weird because it got to this point very quickly where we went from like, there's a ton of people outside, there's music, there's dancing, there's laughing, and then like that, there's no, it just seemed like, damn, where'd everybody go? But like, we're walking, and it happens so quick. We pass the car, and then I see, two guys like on a motorcycle, right? Or one might have been like getting off his motorcycle. But basically, like my thought process was, they don't look like, they basically are trying to look like they're doing something that they're really not doing. Like, yeah, like, I don't know, like one dude looked like he was messing around with his bike, and one dude looked like he was kind of like trying to pretend like he was waiting on something or messing with his phone or something. So like at this point, I'm like, I got two options, and this happened really quick. So it's like, either you just like, this is the setup. So I either turn around right then and there and we just book it, right? But you never know. Or you just play the situation out So like, boom, I keep walking and I'm like, all right, cool. So like I passed the first guy, and like as soon as I passed the first guy, the second guy started to kind of descend, and I lost sight of the first guy. They were pretty close to each other though. I'm like, my eyes are on the second guy, and they just run up real quick, and they're yelling something in Portuguese, and like I was already told that there's kind of a problem with like your phones out, like using your phones in Sao Paulo. Like I was advised in public when you're in this, like even in a nice area like Momoa, like
Yep.
don't be just out on your phones in the streets because like
No.
yeah,
Nope.
yeah, that's a big no. And then honestly, I had to like hit you up before I even went out to Brazil, and you put me up on game to like have a second phone, have like a burner or throwaway phone. When
Right.
you leave like your place, and just leave your main phone, which didn't even work out for me. But needless to say, so like I already knew if we get robbed, like what they after is the phone, right? And I'm not finna like split hairs on this, like just give them what they want. So that was my thought process. When they ran up, I'm just gonna be like, all right, man, like you got it, you got the drop, like boom, and then go on about my business.
Right.
But boom, Nick takes off from like behind me.
Yeah.
Right. And so when he takes off, it triggers like a flight or flight response to me where I'm like, yeah, we like this is one is gonna put all the pressure on me. Like if he gets out there, then I gotta deal with these two dudes, right? And
Right.
two, like I don't know if they're working with anyone else, like if they're gonna try to take us somewhere. So like that's the things that are going through my mind. So at that point, I'm like, I gotta boogie, I gotta get the hell out of here. And so Nick is bolting and like he runs, and one of the dudes actually trips. And in the footage, you see us both fall. He falls first. You can't really see how big the platform is that we fell through, like that we fell off of. But it was like a good like 5 to 7 feet. Like it was a hard hit, right? He took a hard bump, but he falls, and then like the guy with the gun, technically that pulled the gun on Nick. Like once Nick fell, he's grabbing me, like he's grabbing my shirt, but like he's looking at Nick, and I just pushed the dude off me, and then I booked it, and then like I get tripped, right, and then boom, I just bounced up, man. As soon as I hit the ground, and I booked it, man, because I'm like, bro, this isn't the situation, bro.
Hey,
Like,
I get it, man.
yeah,
I
yeah,
get it, man. I
yeah.
get it. And so I have Nick here in the back, and then I'm gonna show the footage. I'm gonna show the footage, and then you guys can kind of walk through it. But now, what I will say is, I did not realize like that's that stoop, because it looks very unassuming. But 5 to 7, that's a big drop.
Hell yeah.
That's a big drop because it looks very unassuming. Like I thought it was maybe like a foot or two or something like that. But 5 to 7, no, that's crazy work.
Yeah. Nah.
All right. So what's going on, man? What's going on, Nick? How we doing?
Here. Thanks for having me, man. Yo, dude, I love your shirt, man. You got it already.
Yeah. You already know.
You gotta send me a copy. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. So Nick, thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, no problem.
And so I was just speaking to Yaz, just kind of hearing his perspective. And then another thing that what I wanted to do was I wanted to show the footage. So as I'm showing the footage, both of you could kind of give your perspective on what's going on. Is that cool?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. Perfect. All right. So I got a couple of clips here. So let me start with this one. I think this one is like the CT. What do you call it? CTV footage.
Yeah, the raw footage.
Yeah. All right. Can both of you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So it looks like. Hold on. Oh, it starts from here. Okay. So it looks like. All right. So this guy here.
Yep. They come in and start positioning
on the right. Yeah. So he's backing up.
He knows to position himself right there by the big drop.
Yeah.
At least a 5-foot drop off of that.
Yeah.
He knows if we try to run, he's gonna get us. And the other guy, here comes the other guy with the gun. they back in so they can drive out quickly. And it's crazy because the guy that pulled up first, he's actually wearing a food delivery bag too on his back.
Oh, so he looks like he's like delivering stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now. Okay,
Here we
hold on.
come.
So I got the white on.
Boom, he comes up, pulls the gun in my face. I swat out of the way. I get tripped by the second guy.
Okay, so it looks like Yaz, you tripped over Nick.
This is our outstanding joke.
Yeah.
That, he kind of broke his fall on my side, and I still have the bruise, but it's going away.
Yeah, so let me just rewind that because it happens like really fast.
Yeah,
so now let me ask you both now, how far like you guys are seeing this happen in real time. Like, did you guys get suspicious of these guys, or did you not think anything of it? Because I know the first guy, you say he had like food delivery, so you thinking that he's probably just doing a drop off?
Yeah, they both have delivery bags, honestly.
Oh, okay.
The second guy's actually wearing the delivery bag on his back. The one further down, waiting right by the stairs. He knew this whole thing was planned out. They knew the spot. They knew it was a perfect place to have a setup. And they waited for us for probably a good 20 seconds before, because he comes out with the gun, and I see it at first. I don't know if it's a gun or a knife.
Right.
It happened so fast. So I immediately just swatted out of the way, and I'm like, I'm out of here no matter what.
Right, because all right, so this part right here, I'm trying to. Okay, so this part right here,
right there, I'm not sure if it's a knife or a gun. It's
because you do like a SWAT right here.
I do like a SWAT. I'm like, get that thing out of my face.
Yeah, so I'm freezing it right here. So this is because he's trying to grab you.
He's trying to grab
with his left hand.
With
his left hand. It looks like it. You don't know, like you can't tell what he has in his right hand right now.
Yeah, honestly, the video footage is very bright. And for some reason, I don't know why it's so bright, but it was quite dark.
Yeah, that's a good call out.
Yeah,
it was dark in this area,
and they're wearing black as well. So I'm like, it happened so fast, and I didn't expect it. That I'm like, I just swat out of the way, and he tried to grab me. I'm just like, I gotta run, and I ran the fastest I ever have in my life because, like I said, I don't know if these guys are trying to kidnap us as well.
Right.
But you never want to be taken anywhere. That's the worst situation.
No, absolutely not.
Even I realized it was a gun after I fell. Well, I got tripped, and I literally flew. I flew. If you watch it closely, you can see how far I fell, and it's a hard hit.
Let me.
My shoulder. I hit my face, my chin, and got bruised on the side. I then pulled a big muscle on my left side as well. And I got the wind knocked out of me completely, and Yaz falls on top of me. But I'm glad Yaz got away, man, because
so
everyone's making the comment that oh, why did he run away? But dude, it was the best thing for him because I didn't want him to get robbed either. Like it's better one person getting robbed than two. He did the right thing. He did the right thing.
I absolutely agree. And what people got to understand is like, Brazil isn't either, isn't anyone's, either of us country, right? So it's not like we're in Ohio or Nick, I don't know where you live. Where do you live?
New York.
Okay, so New York, right? Okay, we're both New Yorkers. Yeah. So so it's like where like, all right, you know what? You got me. I could get my boys. We come down the street and we take care of business. This ain't that. We're in a completely different country.
Yeah,
definitely not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a completely different country. So what else do you expect to do?
Yeah, you can't really do anything, to be honest.
Right, exactly. So it's not like you could get your boys and like, I'm gonna get my boys and we're gonna come back and handle business. Like, nah,
definitely not. So if you want to play the video, I'll just explain what happened after I hit the ground.
Yeah. So let me.
The most crazy part of the video in terms of what they actually did, but.
Okay, so you want me to play this video, or are you talking about the other video?
Yeah, this video.
Oh, okay. So run it back again.
Yeah, to where I'm on the ground.
Okay, hold on.
Skip
Let
ahead
me
to,
let me
yeah. Skip
okay.
ahead almost like right after I take the fall. So right there, if you want to pause right there, at that point, I'm on the ground. I got the wind knocked out of me.
Right.
I didn't even see yet. I don't know where he went the whole time.
So
I never saw
you're
him.
pretty much dazed at this point.
I was dazed, and I didn't even realize he was to my right. I thought he ran off to the left, and he was safe there. I didn't
Yeah.
realize he fell with me or even got tripped. I had no recollection of that. But
Yeah.
as soon as I hit the ground so hard that I'm like, I couldn't get up, to be honest. And as soon as I turn back around, I see the gun in my face. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, like there's no way I'm going to be able to get up with enough time to run away again. And the guy's probably going to shoot at that point, you know?
Right,
So
right.
he comes closer. He puts the gun right in my face. He's like, give me your phone. Give me your phone in Portuguese. He's saying it. And I pull it out. I pretend like I don't speak Portuguese. And I give him the phone. And he's like, no, it's not good enough. Give me the passcode. I'm like, and I said, I don't speak Portuguese. I understood. I just didn't want to give him that code because I knew as soon as I gave him that code, it was game over with my whole phone. They're going to hack
it. Absolutely. Yep.
So literally what happened was I had to. He put the gun closer. He's like, yo, give me the passcode. He said passcode in English because I don't speak Portuguese. I said, he's like, passcode. I'm like, oh, no way of getting out of this.
Right.
So I type it in. I'm not sure if the second guy is recording it to make sure they have my passcode or they just memorized it, but he might have been recording it on his phone too. I can't confirm that. I don't remember seeing the second guy, but as soon as they get the passcode, they got what they wanted. And they get on their bikes and drive off. And I'm like, it was crazy. I'm like, really? It was the first night in Sao Paulo when this happened. Not even like the first, few days or anything. And the crazy thing is I had two phones. Like you said, the burner phone. This is my burner phone. I just didn't. This happened literally a few hours after we got to Sao Paulo, and I needed to get the SIM card for this.
The SIM card
wasn't set up yet. So I'm like, oh, we're just walking 10 minutes to the restaurant, and we're gonna just have a nice dinner, come back, and I'll be able to set up the phone tomorrow, no problem. And then this happens literally a 2-minute walk away from where I was staying, almost in front. And that's why I ran too. I knew if we could run to my apartment before they had time to jump on their bikes and chase us down.
Right.
We could get into safety and we would be inside and we're good. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have ran because they would be able to chase us down and there's nowhere to really run and hide around there. They're going to find us pretty easily because everything has crazy security. Crazy. So I run down to my apartment. I'm freaking bleeding. I'm disoriented. I was able to get into my first security gate because biometrics. And then the second one, I'm on the intercom with security. I'm like, call the police. I need help. Contact the host. I need my passcode to get into my room because it's the electronic code. Right. And it was on my phone. And I didn't memorize it. I just checked in like an hour or two earlier. I didn't memorize the freaking 8-digit code to get into my door. And I needed to get in there to start like doing the recovery process and locking these guys out of my accounts because I knew that's where they were going with it. So luckily, like another resident in the building had a phone. I was able to contact the host and I was able to get in. And then literally for the next 4 hours, I was on the phone with Apple, my cell phone provider, my banks, my credit card, everything to try to block them out because they got into my Apple ID and they changed the password and they put their face as my Face ID and they were able to log into all my banking apps. They stole $13,000 worth of Ethereum and they transferred it out. And this was literally through apps that you need a VPN to access because you can't access them in Brazil. So they knew how to turn on VPNs. They knew how to get into my credit cards and turn on because I was in my accounts and I was turning on the lock card. They knew how to get into my accounts and unlock cards. They were professional thieves. There weren't some guys just coming down from the favelas and just, trying to get the phone and sell it for parts. No, they did not care what phone I had. If it was the iPhone 16 Pro or a freaking iPhone 8, as soon as they wanted my accounts, and they transferred 10 grand out of my savings, and they knew exactly what they were doing. It's absolutely insane, the intelligence. And all my Brazilian friends are like, yep, you guys got set up. They either saw you, like I said in the chat, it's possible that taxi driver set all this up too. Like, hey, I got 2 Americans, they're going to this apartment, just wait outside and track them down, find out where they're going, and wait for the right time. This could have been planned from the airport, or this could have been planned from my apartment host that was right there as well. You don't know where it started, but I don't think it was just so well.
I feel like I will push back on the airport just because that was like, from the airport we went to Momoa, and where this happened was in a different location, and I just don't feel like the way it happened, and it, like, to your point, it's possible, but I think it's lower probability that we was
lower probability,
from that standpoint. But like, can you talk? So like in this video, the perception here, if you look at the street, is it probably looks like this is a real shady like side of town. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say like this particular piece of the sidewalk is not an accurate representation of this area. Like, just the sidewalk right here looks like kind of shitty. But aside from that, this, like, the area in the daytime, like, talk about that, Nick. Like, the area, because this is the area that you live in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, it was nice,
like, literally,
it's walking their dogs and like
like one of the news reporters, which I actually made friends with now, he went to the spot and he's there, and there's people walking their dogs. There's families out with their small children, their strollers. Like, it's supposed to be one of the safest neighborhoods in Sao Paulo. And even my Brazilian friends that are from Sao Paulo, like, oh, you're staying there? It's a beautiful spot, super safe. Even the guy sitting in front of us on the airplane, he's like, oh, haha, you got a second phone. Like, you really think something's going to happen? And he lived in Sao Paulo. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I got to take precautions. He was laughing at me. And I guarantee he saw this clip, because all the news agencies and everything, the top like CNN Brazil and everything reported on this. And I was on live TV on the biggest networks, and they when something happens to a foreigner, they react. And I'm working with the investigator on the case. He personally gave me a call, and I sent him all the information of where they sent my Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're watching those addresses and everything. And so they're on it. I think they're getting a little bit of flack for how dangerous it is. And, because they want tourists to come to the city, but this is a really bad look for Brazil.
Right. I mean, yeah, I so like with the whole cell phone thing, so for me, Nick, like I'm a Colombian guy. Like, I have a place in Medellin, Colombia. Have you been to Medellin before?
I have, yeah. I was back.
Okay, yeah. So my place is in Poblado, like 2 blocks away from like Parque Lleras. So like I'm in the heart of everything.
You're right there, yeah.
So like even like when you're going through like intersections and it's like a red light, like I always tell people, like, even during the day, like if you have like a nice iPhone or whatever the case is, I'm like, get like one of those like $30-$40 phones.
Cheapo,
and put your iPhone, or if you have like the newest Galaxy or whatever, put that in your Airbnb or hotel safe, because like they're gonna notice that right away. And then on the bikes, all they got to do is snatch it and just keep going, and you can't catch up to them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I understood like why you guys were running, because like you guys, your place, Nick, was right there, so you could have just run right there. Right. Because if you guys had to run, let's say 4 or 5 blocks, they were on bikes. Y'all would have been fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We would have made it in time before they could catch up to us if we outran them.
Right.
And the biometrics to get in the gate are super quick. It verifies, you push the gate open, you lock it, boom, you're good.
Right.
The one thing, here's the craziest part of the story, which I've contacted Apple about it. And anyone watching that has an iPhone, please turn this setting on. This is the most important thing that I've told every interview that I've been on to date, which there's a setting called stolen device protection. It's under the Face ID and passcode section in settings. And basically what it does when you turn it on is it allows a 1 hour security delay to change your Face ID, your Apple ID password. And that hour will allow you to get to any Apple device, and you can log into Find My iPhone, and you can log into there and erase your iPhone before they can do all the hacking that they did on my phone. Now, the craziest thing was that my iPhone 15 Pro, I had it activated. And I just upgraded the 16 Pro and did an iCloud restore to the phone. And me thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to preserve that stolen device protection setting. Well, it didn't. And that's why what happened. And I got super hacked, and they were in everything: emails, bank accounts, crypto accounts, savings accounts. They had their face as my face with the ID, and just able to log into whatever they were, that I had on there, and had all my two-factor authorization. And if I needed text sent to my phone, they had my phone with my phone number. So they were getting two-factor authorization from there, and my email. So they had access to everything possible.
Wow. So how long did it take for you to get everything shut down?
Oh my God. So luckily, like I said, one of the residents of the building, he was actually Brazilian, and he spoke pretty good English, and he had a Brazilian phone and a Brazilian phone number. Like I said, to contact the host. And then he actually had international calling on his phone too, which was amazing. This guy, Andre, shout out to him. I know he's probably not, I'll send him the link to this, but he literally sat there with me in my room for 4 hours straight. Let me use his phone to contact Apple and my banks and my phone company. He sat there patiently with me and helped me with everything. And I was literally,
Andre, man.
He's the MVP. Literally, I can't thank him enough. I literally want to send him some money or something just for helping me out, because I was using his international calling plan or something. But but he stuck with me until I got my Apple ID back into my name and changed the passcode, and I got my phone number disactivated so they couldn't get any more codes. And I was able to lock them out probably around 1 a.m. officially. And this happened at 9:25 p.m. So you can see in the video, it has the timestamp.
It's kind of hard to see near like the top right because of the lighting. But so Nick, so what you're saying is it essentially took you about 4 hours to kick them out of your phone. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot could happen in 4 hours. So you said that they took 13K of Ethereum?
Yep. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Total, yeah.
And then 10,000 US.
They withdraw out of my savings. Now it's crazy because I tracked down the Bitcoin to an address that has almost $700,000 of stolen crypto in it. So they've been busy. They've been really busy.
Yeah.
So this is a big crime organization in Sao Paulo that does this professionally, and they've been highly trained to do it. Like I said, they knew how to turn on VPNs and lock and unlock cards, and it was a very professional job, which, like I said, it wasn't just some street robbers that just wanted your phone coming from the favelas and, they're just going to sell the phone for parts. This was very, very, very well done.
Right. This wasn't just like, someone just trying to sell the phone because they're, maybe they're poor, they're hungry. Like these people are eating filet mignon and lobster and all.
100%.
Yeah. So I wouldn't even. So I would add on. I wouldn't even necessarily just say that it's Sao Paulo, because even in Latin America, one of my guys, well, actually a couple of my guys, actually have gotten scopolamine, which is a drug that knocks
The
you out.
drugs, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a drug that knocks you out. And one of my guys, most recently, shout out to QB Passport Flexing, he was out in Ecuador and met two Colombian women, and they ended up drugging and robbing him, and took some money out of his savings, and I think they got tracked to like some place in like Atlanta. So yeah, so like these aren't your bargain basement type of criminals. Like
No, definitely
these,
not.
yeah, so these are like your upper echelon scammers. You know what I mean?
They're smart. They're smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So going to Yaz's point, pardon me, Yaz's point, I don't think that necessarily that they followed you guys from the airport. I think that they probably saw you guys walking around.
around or at the
Yeah,
restaurant.
and then yeah, and they probably and they probably see like different types of tourists there because they felt too comfortable being right there, and they knew how to dress. Like they had the helmet on, like you can't see their face, you can't see anything. So they know where the cameras are at. So this is something that they've done before.
Oh, 100%. They knew exactly.
Yeah, so this is something that they've done before, like because like they knew exactly where to park. Like they look too comfortable doing that shit.
Yeah,
you know what
they
I mean?
even backed in, and the guy like knew he waited.
Yeah,
right
they backed in. Like they probably know like what time the police is coming around. They probably got all of that thing clocked out, man.
Yeah. So
yeah, let me go to let me go to another video where the reporter is actually speaking. Let me go to that.
Yeah, you have Rodrigo's clip.
I believe so. Hold on. Let me. How can I unshare this?
Media player. I think in the top right? There.
Okay, here we go. All right. All right, so let me share again. I think this one is it.
O influenciador digital.
All right, let me know when you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool.
This one's a good perspective of how high that fall actually was.
Yeah.
O influenciador digital estava acompanhado de um amigo. Eles retornavam de um restaurante na hora do assalto. Yas está visitando o Brasil pela primeira vez.
Sim, então eles não pediram meu telefone imediatamente. Então, basicamente, depois que eles aparecem, o Nick começou a correr. E então, uma vez que o Nick correu, eu sabia que toda a pressão estava sobre mim. Então, comecei a correr depois disso. Eu apenas agi assim. Foi uma reação, sim.
O caso foi registrado nessa delegacia onde o americano prestou depoimento. Explicou.
Okay, so Nick, would you mind just translating because some people don't understand Portuguese. I understand some of it because I speak Spanish, but like not everything.
Yeah, you can play it again, but you can see the first step there. You can see how high that is, and that's
yeah. So when they show it, because now they're showing it like going up as opposed to it coming, coming down,
and you can really see that it's several feet.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's not like a little baby step. Yeah.
Running the fastest I ever have in my life.
Yeah, so if you trip and fall, like you gonna feel that shit.
I definitely felt it.
Yeah.
O influenciador digital estava acompanhado de um amigo. Eles retornavam.
All right. Go ahead.
He basically is saying the two were walking. He was accompanied with his friend when they started attacking. Like,
okay.
With the gist.
De restaurante na hora do assalto.
They said they're coming back from a restaurant. And then this is, it's dubbed, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brasil pela primeira
Yes,
vez.
can
Essa daí-
hear what he
Então
said.
eles não pediram o meu telefone imediatamente.
Yeah, he's just at this point, he's just asking me to explain. So like their questions were very basic. I kind of got over this like pretty quickly just because I mean it's the same thing, but it's like, are you from Brazil? You know, where did the attackers come from? You know, what did they take from you? And will you ever come back to Brazil? You know, that was kind of like the questions. But this specific question was he wanted me to like walk him through like the framework in terms of like what happened when they ran up. And it was pretty much everything you've seen in the video and everything that we
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
Now, did this interview happen like the same night? Like, did this happen like right
Nah,
away?
so like we like it was like me and Nick had to like fight tooth and nail and to get this video. He went back to like the area, the vicinity, like specifically where it took place at,
Yeah.
and started talking to like the security there. And then like the weekend passed, and it basically took us a week to get the
Yeah.
video. He went back to Belo, and so he's still in Brazil, but I was still in São Paulo. I go back to the spot, and then basically the first video we got was just a different view, and it was further down, so it really didn't work. So basically had to, you know, go talk to a couple different places. And I think once we got that footage, what's crazy is, all right, so we got that footage, I'm gonna say a week after it happened.
Yeah.
And so like later on that day, when we had the actual CCTV footage, is when reporters started hitting us up like, yo, there's footage
Someone
circulating.
leaked it. Someone.
Yes, this is what I think. It makes a lot of sense, but I think that the news reporters basically pay security companies or security guards for leads, right?
Yeah.
Like if you see a robbery, right, and however their system works, right, or the security company reaches out to news reporters, but like essentially, yeah, that once we had the footage or once the security company was aware that there was a robbery and they had it on film, that's when we started getting hit up by the reporters. So they hit us up a week later.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It was just a storm of like, yeah, we woke up that morning and it was crazy. Literally, we're getting requests for interviews and being on live TV, and like it just wouldn't stop. It just.
So I want to say this though, because like I feel like the perspective is what I picked up on, especially with the media. So like the last question that specific reporter Yuri asked me was like, would I ever come back to Brazil? But it was almost like the way he asked it, it was like he was hoping that I'd be like, yo, I'm never coming back to this spot, right? And like, yeah. And I was just like, nah, like this is a week later. I'm like, I'm still in the city. Like the people are great. For me, I feel like, you know, I was able to I did turn the experience around. And like, I don't think that one incident reflects like the culture in Brazil. And I had a great time. I had great food, met some great people. And I did convey that in the interview and that I would be back. But of course, you know, like that was edited out and that never aired. So I think that, you know, from a political standpoint, the news always tends to favor some type of agenda.
Yeah.
And
of course.
Yeah. So but here's the thing. I think it's a double-edged sword because on one hand, like this type of incident, it should be highlighted, right? And it should have the exposure and media publicity behind it that it takes to I guess initiate change. But like at the same time, right? We'll talk to a Brazilian about the robbery, and like it almost be like people they would feel like, man, it sucks that happened to you, but it almost was like, yeah, you know, that kind of happens all the time. They wouldn't say that. It was like life goes on, and it makes me think like, you know, how many people out there are getting robbed and it never makes the news, and they may not even.
Oh, absolutely.
They may have to just take that L. And so like, I don't know, in those situations, they just have to kind of live within it. I think Nick was telling me about somebody who said that he had been robbed like 5 times in São Paulo in 10 years. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I I don't know if he's making personal decisions that are happening, or if it's other things that are happening in that environment. But
Yeah.
you definitely do have to keep your head on a swivel, which is what
100%.
everybody kind of says. There you go.
The guy Andre that helped me with the phone calls for 4 hours straight, he said he got robbed 5 times. One at gunpoint, the other one like knives, and so and he lives in that building, so I guess it's a pretty common thing from all the Brazilians that I've talked to. Many of them actually have been robbed,
Yep.
not all at gunpoint. Even one of the girls I went out on a date with the other night said she got robbed at gunpoint for her phone too, but she ran away and was able to run away. So it's more common than you think.
No, absolutely, and it's not just a Brazilian thing. Like it happens. It happens through, like, I've heard this happen in Colombia. I've heard this happen in some places in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it happens, and usually it's what they want is they want your phone, so that this way they can take all your information, so that they could take your your Bitcoin. They could go into hack into your checking savings account, and if you have like and if you have like your social security card on you, or your
Yeah.
passport on you.
That's one thing that thank
Yeah,
God
go
I
ahead.
didn't have. Thank God I did
Yeah.
not have my social security in there. That's
Yeah,
one thing that could open up
absolutely,
accounts with, and
absolutely,
that's the most dangerous
absolutely.
thing. Thank God I didn't have that in my notes or in my email or
Yeah,
anywhere. To be honest, I'm just gonna I'm gonna send the link in the studio that we're connected for the Bitcoin address. We can take a look at that after we see this next video.
yeah,
Just to
yeah,
show you how
absolutely.
much stolen money is in this Bitcoin address. It's crazy. But
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we get to that, I just wanted to tell you both like a quick story. So, so in my apartment building in Medellin, and so this happened back in April. So there's like two sides of the apartment building. So where my side is, there's only 2 floors, and then on the other side there's like an elevator, and I think it goes up to the 5th or 6th floor.
yeah,
So and it's 2 different entrances. So um it was on a Friday night. It was on a Friday night, and I remember seeing no, well, yeah, it was like Friday evening or whatever, and I kept seeing like the yellow cab, like getting like girls getting dropped off in front of the building, and every like 2 or 3 hours, I kept seeing like the cab come back with different girls. I was like, damn. So I was like, oh boy. I was like, man, someone's gonna get in trouble, whatever. So to find out, because Flyboy and we ended up leaving that Sunday morning. Yeah. So Flyboy was with me at that time. This is back in April. So we find out from my other boy Donnie. He's not a content creator, but his flight was later, so he ended up staying at my apartment a little bit later, because his flight was like later in the afternoon. Our flight was at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So so he calls us, while we're at the airport, and he's like, man, like these dudes. He was like, man, you're never gonna believe what happened. And he's like, yo, like these dudes ended up getting scoped and robbed. So like one dude was knocked out for like almost 36 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, almost knocked out for 36 hours. They took his passport. So he had to fly to the capital, which is Bogota. Yeah, so the capital of Colombia is Bogota. So he had to fly to Bogota, go to the U.S. Embassy, and then they had to give him an emergency passport, and then also give him money to travel, because all his money had gotten taken.
Crazy.
All his money. So yeah, and I was supposed to do an interview with him, but he doesn't want to do the interview. But yeah, he got like at least between him and his cousin, because it was both of them. But like between both of them, I think they got about like 40,000 taken. Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's just it's crazy. So like this whole scamming thing,
It's becoming more and more serious. Not
So
just stealing the phones anymore.
no, like Colombia, they more or less use the women to seduce the guys, and that's why I tell guys, I'm like, listen, like if you with the woman, like don't have her pour your drink, you pour your own drink. If you go to the bathroom and you happen to leave your drink or whatever, pour that shit out and get another one. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna make your own drink, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. All right, so let me play this video.
Yeah.
Eles estavam descendo aqui e os motoqueiros encostaram aqui, em cada ponta, um aqui e o outro lá. Estavam só esperando uma vítima passar. Eles, então, na hora que chegaram aqui, foram abordados em frente ao portão do condomínio. Foi exatamente aqui nesse ponto. Um tentou correr, só que aí eles chutaram os rapazes, os dois caíram por aqui, um caiu por cima do outro. Por sorte, eles não caíram por escada abaixo. Aqui a rua é uma rua íngreme, é uma espécie de uma ladeira aqui. Caíram por aqui e ficaram. Um conseguiu levantar e saiu correndo.
Yeah.
You said you had another one that you had sent in a private chat.
Oh, me or?
Yeah.
No, I linked where the Bitcoin address where they sent all my Bitcoin.
So it's like a Bitcoin address that shows like what's in that wallet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
An address viewer just to show viewers like how serious this is.
Yeah, where is it? Because I'm trying to see.
It should be in private chat. I mean, I can do it in the YouTube video too as well, but it should be in your.
Oh, I see it. I
Yeah.
got you. Hold on. All right, let me close this out. All right, let me share my screen. All right, Nick. So where? Can you see it?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. All right.
So you can see it's over $700,000 is in this wallet. This is where my crypto ended up eventually. If you scroll down,
$700,000. That's nasty work.
They're living good.
Wow.
And that's only. I mean, it's condensed Bitcoin, even though it went through another wallet and then came here.
Yeah.
So this is from many different.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you able to get that back or?
So I'm in contact with the investigator of my case in Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
I sent him all the information. I sent him this wallet. So they're monitoring it. And if they try to withdraw it to an exchange, then hopefully we can make some arrests or get some personal information that would lead to an arrest of who might be behind this. So they're well aware now.
Okay, gotcha. And then the money from your savings, you're able to contact your bank and get that back, right?
The bank, I'm in contact with that and trying to do the dispute form for that to hopefully get that back. And so we'll see. Everything's in process. Even with the crypto, hopefully there's insurance that covers that. I'm working to get that back also. So hopefully I can get everything back, which would be amazing. It'll just be mostly out the cost of the phone, which is like $1,200. And of course we both survive with our lives, which is more important.
That's the most important thing, man. That's the most important thing. Absolutely. Yeah. So, guys, if you guys are trying to clown either one of these dudes for running and thinking like, man, listen, like you're not even in another state, you're in a whole nother country. Like you gotta realize like this ain't the same playing field. Now, if something like this happened in New York or Ohio, I'm like, all right, you guys gonna have to do something about this. You're gonna have to get your get back. Yeah. But it's different when you are in a whole nother country and in a whole different continent too. This is South America, different country, different city. So
and let me just point something out too. Like and Kings, bro, you've been knowing me for a minute, man. Like
absolutely,
basically growing up for a while. Like I've always kind of like had this edge to me where I've been like a loose cannon. I've chilled out a lot.
Yeah.
But like, you know, even with my background boxing, like I put in work, you know, for example, I mean, I got into this situation last year and you know, I ended up tearing my pec, but I'm out here literally squared up with like 10 people. So like, and I just can handle myself in these type of situations. I'm very comfortable.
Right.
But you know, this isn't a street brawl here. Like this is like,
no,
you know what I mean? Like some people got a gun, bro. You in a different, like you in a whole nother country. This is like, use your brain. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't help my man if I'm dead. You feel me? So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Fighting back against an armed attacker is not smart. I don't care what kind of skills you have.
Facts.
You're always taking that chance
Yeah,
once
like
you fight back.
this ain't the
This
movie.
ain't no like what you gonna box a bullet? Come on, man.
Yeah.
This ain't the movies. You know, but also also like what people have to realize. So and like the average height for a guy in Latin America is typically anywhere between like 5'5" to 5'7", and they're probably weighing about maybe you know, maybe like 140, 150 pounds.
Yeah.
So like, you know, Yaz and Nick, but both of you guys look like you guys could probably be, you know, maybe 170, 180-ish or whatever. So like, you know, those 30 pounds may not seem like much, but if you got the muscle, like they're not going to try to do hand to hand, because they would have gotten finished. If they were trying to do hand to hand, they would have
gotten. It would have been a different scenario.
Yeah, it would have been bad for them. It would have been bad for them. Yeah. It definitely would have been bad for them. So that's what the guys.
The gun is the great equalizer. I mean,
absolutely. Because you know, I mean, at that point, it's like, you know what, you got me. Take what you got to take. You know what I mean? Like I'll live to fight another day. It's money. I'll get it back.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
big facts.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. So you know, I just wanted to thank you both for sharing your story. Nick, thank you for coming on. Yaz, you know, I definitely appreciate you, man. So you guys are still going to be going to, you know, different countries and stuff like that, right? Like that's not going to deter you.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue to travel, and I'm definitely gonna continue to go to Brazil and other places as well, right? Like I ended up turning the trip around, and I think Nick is having a pretty good time, even though he's in a different city in Brazil. I'm not gonna speak.
You still out in Brazil? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Belo Horizonte.
Okay.
One of the safer cities in Brazil, and you can walk around with your phone out and stuff pretty confidently here.
I got you. Have you been to Recife?
Have not been there yet. It's on one of my travel plans there. Fortaleza. People are saying those are pretty dangerous, even more than Rio and Sao Paulo. So you gotta be careful wherever you're going. But Florianopolis is in the south. They say it's super safe down there. The south apparently is very safe. Brazil, so might need to check that out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hey, listen, you know what? You still in Brazil, you still living it up, so you good, man.
Yeah, man. I'm turning it around, man. I've had a few good days here, so
there you go.
You guys know what that means, but
absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, so I want to do another interview and kind of bring you both back and more or less kind of talk about like the the ladies in the dating side. But I wanted to highlight the education as far as being safe and making sure like that you don't try to do anything, not necessarily you, but someone doesn't try to do anything stupid to not give up their phone. You don't want to give up your life. Like, dude, it's an iPhone. Like, you know what I mean? By this time next year, we're going to be talking about iPhone 18 or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So like, don't try to do anything stupid, guys.
Yeah.
And some of you ladies too, like, nah. Like if they take your Birkin, you'll be all right. Don't worry about that shit.
Facts.
Yeah, man. So I definitely appreciate both of you guys' time, man. And Nick, actually, where can they find you?
Pretty easily, just at Nick Bibbo on Instagram. You guys can see it right there on my screen. Just put an @ just type in Nick Bibbo on Instagram, just like that. It'll pop up. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. And when you going back to the city?
Oh man, I'm still working on that. Maybe a few more weeks I'll be here, and then head back, or I might
Okay.
plan a trip. I need another phone, like a newer phone, just because I was using my
Oh, that's
phone to
right.
shoot
Okay.
content,
Yeah.
And the 12, I have a 12 mini, my burner phone for the street. I mean,
Yeah.
it works, but it's the quality is quite a bit different than 16 Pro. But
Right. Exactly.
I have my life, so I can't complain that much.
No, no, man. No, you're all good, man. You're all good. You know what I mean? So, just find you a nice beauty, you'll be all right. Trust
Yeah,
me. The beauties in Brazil, you'll be
yeah,
all right.
yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. For sure. Yeah, so let's try to do this conversation soon. We'll talk offline and set something up, man, for the
Yeah,
near
of
future.
course,
Bet.
definitely.
Absolutely, man. All right, Nick. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you, man.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you,
Yeah,
brother.
Kings, appreciate you having me on here.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you, man. I'm gonna
All
follow you
right.
on Instagram after we're
Yeah,
done.
yeah. Sounds good.
All right, man. Cool.
Take care.
All right, man. You too. All right, and then there were two. So my man Yaz.
Yo.
Yeah, man. So what were your final thoughts on the trip? Um, is there anything that yeah, what are your okay, so two-part question. What are your thoughts on the trip? And then the second part is um would you encourage people to visit Brazil?
Ooh, that's a great question. So let me start with yeah, my final thoughts on Brazil. Amazing country, amazing food, amazing culture. Um, all the stories you've heard about Brazil, they're like all true, right? So like women are gonna be some of the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. Um, and they're just the overall like hospitality and the sense that I get from the city was very welcoming. Like they like tourists, they like Americans. But yeah, man, I had a great experience. Honestly, I can't complain. I mean, this was like one hiccup, one bump in the road, but like the way my life's been, man, I've been through crazy, stranger things have happened to me, man. So like that, yeah, I
Absolutely.
literally got past that the same night. You feel me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man.
And then
Absolutely.
to your point about what I encourage people to go to
Brazil.
Brazil, it's a yes slash it depends. Like, what is your goal for going out there? Like, if your goal is just to go out there and like meet people, experience a different culture, maybe a closer destination, potentially. It just depends. Like, are you solo traveling? Are you going by yourself or with other people? Have you done this before? Like, what's your age range? Like, are
Mhm.
you looking to be in a city that has younger people, maybe like a college, I won't say college town, but like more party lifestyle, more like a Rio? Or are you looking for something that's more business oriented? Are you looking to retire? So there's a lot of different things that I would say I would take into account.
Right.
For me personally, I was solo traveling, and there were significant hurdles with it, like not having a strong Portuguese foundation.
Hmm.
It's challenging, but like I push through it. There are you want to definitely brush up on the language, and I think any content creator that talks about Brazil talks about how important the language is. There are people there that speak English, but for the most part, most people 9 times out of 10, most people don't speak English. And if you speak English there, especially in the street, or just like in public. I shouldn't say the street because that's not very specific. But in public, for example, you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb for good or for bad, right? If you're around good people, they're gonna notice you, and then for bad people, well, you know what? Like, where is this guy going? Where is he from? So,
Yeah.
the more I started to maneuver through the city, I started going into some. I won't say they were shady areas or questionable areas, but I went into areas where I would say like they were highly densely populated with maybe people that weren't the richest, and they were shopping in these areas. So it's like some people just wouldn't be comfortable going into places that I wouldn't say was the hood, but people from the hood go to these spots, right? Like they're going like that's where the best food is. That's where you're gonna get like the discount on the clothes, and that's where you're gonna pick up your souvenirs at. You're not gonna go to like the Mall of America and then cash out 15 of your family members and get them all like brand name stuff and a $40 hat from New Era. Nah, you want to have from okay, I'm gonna go down to the spot and get it for $5. You feel me?
Yeah, you talk about like downtown, like Central.
Yeah.
Like downtown. Yeah. So it's not necessarily the hood, but it's hood-ish. I got you. Yeah. I got you, man. Well, listen, man. What's next on your agenda? What's your next destination, man?
Man, so while I was in Brazil, I had to hit you up, like, because one of the things that I noticed, I'm like, man, I'm out here, I'm enjoying myself, but I don't have my people with me. Yeah, and I can't say that I'm necessarily traveling to just like create new social networks with other people in other areas without, like, I don't know, thoroughly vetting those type of relationships. So anyways, I evaluated. I'm like, bro, I need to link up with my guy, because me and you haven't linked up for a trip internationally. So I think we got something coming up, man, pretty soon for you.
Yes, absolutely,
man. And I'm gonna pull up for that for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Yeah. So I'll speak about it because some people know, some people don't, but I'll speak about it, man. So it is official. My 40th birthday, that will be in Medellin. That will be the first week of February in 2025. And I got a whole slew of people coming out. The who's who is definitely pulling up for that one, man. So you're gonna see we got an all-star roster, man. We got an all-star roster, man. So I'm excited, and I'm excited for you to be a part of it, man. And I can't wait to show you Medellin to where people will not get scoped. Don't worry, we gonna be good. We gonna be safe, and we gonna be fun, man. Yeah. I can't wait for that.
No, it's gonna be a good look.
For sure, man. For sure. And one of the things that I will say, I have to say, man, I'm really happy that the fact that happened to you and Nick. I meant to say this while Nick was still on. Hopefully Nick is still watching. But what happened to yourself and Nick on night one did not deter you guys from enjoying your trip. You guys were still able to go out, have fun, and really just enjoy Sao Paulo, even though that first night it was a summer night. So kudos to you guys, man, because okay, Nick said I'm still here. All right, perfect. Yeah, but kudos to you guys, man, because for certain people, they like, damn, I got done dirty on night one, man. I'm taking my ass back to the States, or I'm gonna go to another country, or you know what I mean? Yeah, because
I thought about that too, because I felt like if I'd have slid out after the first night, then there's a there's a high potential that I wouldn't come back to Sao Paulo. Like, to leave on that type of note. So, like, I had to give myself an opportunity to redeem myself and really see what the city was about. So, like, I just kind of pushed through it. Yeah,
absolutely. That's great, man. That's great. The fact that like you said, all right, man, like, I'm not going out like that. Like, these guys, all right, they caught the lick, but I'm gonna still have fun, do my thing, explore. So definitely appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Hey, one other thing I want to call out too.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't really hear this get talked about enough, but like, Brazil has amazing food. Like, everywhere I ate at, I swear, man, the food was really good. And even the way they cook the foods, like, they're not using a ton of like preservatives and additives. So like, the food itself, like, I noticed like the way my body responded to it, and like the gym culture out there. I feel like Sao Paulo, and maybe it's like that in all of Brazil, but in Sao Paulo, like throughout the city, you're seeing, both men and women in phenomenal shape. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. And the way I attribute it is like, not only the food that they eat, everywhere you go, like, they're not overloading you with huge portions of food. Typically, a lot of the portions that they serve is smaller, but I feel like the food in itself is nutrient dense food. So like you're fuller longer, and
Yeah.
you're not eating like low quality food.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So I've heard different things about the food, and it's interesting because of like your religion background. Like I've heard people say, man, like they serve too much pork. It's hard for me to eat out here. But for you who don't eat pork, and I don't eat pork either,
Yeah,
like yeah, like usually I'm either eating like chicken, fish, or some type of beef.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
like
I haven't had any issues with the food. I haven't had
yeah,
any issues with the food.
yeah. Nah, that's a good call out.
I do know that they serve a lot of pork though. I'm not gonna hold you.
Where?
Oh, in Brazil.
Uh, I mean, they probably do, but like, I don't know. I feel like everywhere that I went, there was definitely a ton of different like uh beef options, chicken options.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
it wasn't too difficult. Even when we went and ate at this 5 star, not 5 star, I'm sorry, 2 star Michelin restaurant, like they hit me up in terms of like, do you have any dietary restrictions? I'm like, I don't eat pork. That's pretty much it. And
Yeah,
so like they just modified their selection and brought me some like wagyu instead of like pork. But yeah, no, I mean it's dope. It's a dope city, but great food. And
yeah,
yeah, I can't speak highly enough about the food. It is world class. Let me tell you.
yeah. Well, I mean, one of my favorite restaurants is Fogo de Chao, which is Brazilian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I'm
absolutely.
familiar.
Let me get a couple of more of these shout outs. Shout out to my man QB Passport Flexing. I actually
Hey,
just mentioned you earlier. I was mentioning where you got caught up in Ecuador with the Colombianas, man. So if you rewind QB, you could just check out the I want to say maybe about 30, 45 minutes ago, where I had mentioned you, where we had a guy, Nick, come on, and he was saying how the scammers, these guys are not low budget dudes like, from the favelas. These guys are like real deal scammers, man, for real. Okay, Nick says I'm still here. Mala, what area are you in? I think you said, what was it, Manau? You said?
Talking about Momoa. That was the
Oh,
area.
Momoa. My fault,
Yeah.
my fault.
Nah, you good.
The best food. Yeah, I would say Brazilian food is probably better than some Colombian food. Now, I will say on the coast, like Cali, Colombia, like where you got like more like the Afrocentric, Barranquilla and Cartagena, they do got some good food. But Brazilian food is good. That I will say. Yes, the
Yeah.
food is great. Um,
I'm getting hip to the Colombian food, man. Had my shorty prepare some food for me. As soon as I got back, honestly, she picked
I
me up.
saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. I saw
you
that.
saw, yeah. She picked me up from the airport, came
Oh, she
through,
picked you up from the
picked
airport.
me up from the
Oh,
airport,
we go. Yeah,
bro.
we go. Yeah,
Started cooking immediately, bruh. I'm just like, where am I at, bruh? Like, life is,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's what's up, man. Hey, man, that's what's up, man. You see that? You just got to get a good woman who's on your program. But that's gonna be for another conversation. It's
oh
gonna be for
God,
another conversation, man. Huge fitness scene there as well. Yes,
yeah,
I want to say. I want to say it's interesting, right? Because in Latin America, like it's very commonplace to see a lot of women going to the gym, and if they don't go to the gym, they either work out at home or they're in shape because they walk a lot. So it's crazy, and I think because like they know that there's so many good looking women that they it's inherited in their mind that they gotta compete.
I think it could be a combination of that, but I also get a sense that they take pride in the way they look at presenting the best version of themselves.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that all goes into to what I'm saying. But yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm with you there. We're
yeah.
both we're both essentially saying the same
He's
thing.
saying
But
the
yeah,
same
you
thing.
got to
Yeah,
take pride in
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Uh, what for Joe? For I don't know how you say that. Don't know how to say that. I just noticed dude's T-shirt. Now
Oh
that's
yeah,
a
yeah,
real
yeah,
deal
yeah,
souvenir.
yeah, 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 yeah. It is.
Absolutely, absolutely, man, absolutely, absolutely. Hey, you know what? Way to capitalize on the moment, though. You know
Yeah,
that's good promotion. Um, they have crime in Sao Paulo, but remember
facts.
they have 20 million plus people. Sao Paulo is pretty, is very safe. But I mean, think about it, right? Sao Paulo. I mean, well, yeah. So Sao Paulo is the biggest city of all of the Americas. So Sao Paulo is actually 2 to 2.5 times as big as New York City. So we're talking all 5 boroughs of New York City, right? So Sao Paulo
The
is
largest
huge.
population in the Western Hemisphere. So, like in context, I think São Paulo is the fifth largest population in the entire world. It's really big.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
So the thing about it is like, yeah, there's gonna be crime. Like even people who visit New York and go to Times Square and all of that, like I've heard of people getting robbed around Times Square. It's gonna happen. It's
it's
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen. Yeah,
Absolutely, man. It's absolutely. Let me see. Serious workouts are on Sundays.
yeah.
Sunday Ave Paulista.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Paulista, but like I just ran out of time, man. Like 11 days is really not enough time. But yeah, I was told so. Like Paulista Avenue, I'm told that on Sundays they shut down this block of a few
Yeah,
miles. I think it's 2 miles for cars. So like people now you just walk around in this area. So I was told that like on Sundays it's pretty popping. I actually
yeah,
ended up going to the park, which was crazy in itself because
yeah.
where you go, everybody's working out. But yeah, yeah, you're right about Paulista Avenue, from what I hear.
Yeah, I think yeah, like yeah, the workout game, they take that serious in Latin America.
Yeah, they do.
I've noticed that. Like they
The
take that.
dudes, I'm not even going front too, because like me, I'm in the gym like 5, 6 days a week. I jog like 30, 40 miles, box, do all that stuff. And like going out there, I'm like, damn, like these dudes is pretty cut and ripped, like as well. So like to me, it was just motivating and refreshing. Like if
Yeah,
that isn't an environment to motivate you to just like go out there and seize the moment, I don't know what is. Like for real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, I saw today, well, it might have been yesterday because I think you just came back. So I think it was yesterday. I saw like you had did like 6 or 7 miles.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, damn. I was like, man, I'm happy about walking my 2, you running 6. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was getting it in out there, but it's crazy because like I'm like you go to the park and like that's all you see other people doing the same thing. So like to me, it's nothing special,
Yeah,
right? To other people, maybe on the outside looking in, they're like, "Dang, like he's grinding," but like in Brazil, that's normal.
yeah,
So I
absolutely.
was, I feel like I was right at home, man. Like I'm not even gonna cap. Like I feel like I was right at home.
Man, yo, that's a good feeling to feel, bro. That's a good
Yeah.
feeling to feel, man. Um, said, I know you took a trip to Secondo.
Not even familiar. Yeah,
Nah,
what's
what,
up in
yeah,
Chicago?
what's that? What's that? Yeah, explain what that is, if you wouldn't mind. Um, I like Sao Paulo better than Copacabana Lapa. Oh yeah, yeah. So I had mentioned this. Oh, Scandolos. Okay. I don't think I've been there, but I like, yeah. So I I like Sao Paulo. Like, well, I like the woman of Sao Paulo a little bit better than Rio de Janeiro. Because I remember I said I was going to get to this later. I like them more in Sao Paulo, just a little bit more, because of like the diversity and the language. Like,
Right.
not necessarily saying that like the woman has to be a Korean woman, but like she's like in Sao Paulo, she's exposed to a little bit more like different cultures and things of that sort. So I like a cultured woman, not saying like I want like my woman to be a doctor or a lawyer or none of that. I'm just saying like, having some substance is good. I like that. I like that.
I feel that.
I like that, man. So, all right. So, next trip coming up in February. You got anything else going in between, or you sitting this out?
Man, right now, man, I'm just gonna be locked in. Like I said, I'm in the fintech space, so I'm gonna just be locked in, honestly, and probably February be the first trip afterwards that we gonna get. I definitely want to get back out to Brazil and then just continue to just move around. And it was pretty dope too, because like while I'm in Brazil, my conditionally approved for my global reentry. And then I just did like when I passed through customs on my way back, they're like, yo, we could just do your interview on the spot. So they just did my interview on the spot. So like I should know within like 48 hours that if my global entry is approved or not. But that is just expedite, traveling back to the country and just moving through. So anyways, I say all that to say, man, we definitely gonna be continuing to bust moves throughout the next year and into the future. So just look out.
For sure, man. For sure, man. Oh, please definitely make sure that you do follow my man on Instagram. Check out his Instagram. And it is What Is in Ohio.
What's in Ohio?
What's in Ohio? All right, man.
WHATS in Ohio. What's in Ohio?
What's in Ohio? What's in
Yeah.
Ohio? What's in Ohio? What's in Ohio? I will not forget it, man.
It's all good, man.
I mean, Yaz came down to hold it down, man. I definitely appreciate you taking the time, man.
I appreciate you too, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. All right, man. Listen, guys, ladies, you all watching, travel. Make sure that you stay safe, be safe, get there safe, get back safe, stay on your purpose, stay purposely purposeful. It's your boy Kings and Dreams, and I will be back tomorrow. As I mentioned, I'm doing live streams every day this week. So I'll be back tomorrow. Stay on your purpose. Peace.
Hey, see you later.